This is a picture of the Irish genocide. Now, the Catholic Church has been responsible from the start for the Irish genocide. It started when they came over and St. Kevin took the relics back to Ireland. Then years later, it was actually the Catholic Church that sponsored the Norman invasion, but they started in Britain and they drove out the Irish monks, and the Irish monks returned to Ireland. Then we have the genocide. Here's some of the numbers. So they tell us that the numbers were 8 million, but it's actually estimated that it was 17 million. So that's or 18 million. That's a whole 10 million that they're lying about. And now the population is emigrating back. 62. So many people returned. Thousands are returning to Ireland. That fits in with the prophecy of the rising of the Gentiles. And here it is here. And the Gentiles will come into the light. The kings to the brightness of the rising. You see, because we're down now because we're in a republic, but when we rise up we will be kings, and the Gentiles, the Celtiles, shall come into the light, and the kings to the brightness of the rising. Lift up their eyes round about and see, all they gather themselves together, they come to thee. The sun shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nurses at thy side. Thou shalt see the flown together. Well, it goes on and it says, and the nation and the kingdom that will not save thee will be totally and utterly wasted. Who are these that fly in the clouds? Angels, Anglo-Saxons, that's what they used to call us. And then there says the rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. What's a ram? A ram is someone that develops horns on their head because they become a new creature in Christ. So you had the rams of Nebaioth, and here's a picture. Hold on, what is it? So the Irish government and the Irish government and the Vatican are keeping us down. See, we don't rise until we become a kingdom again. In the Bible it says, the Gentiles shall come into the light, and the kings to the brightness of the rising. So you have to be there has to be ruled by kings, because we're the direct descendants of King David, and we are the line of the kings. And all other kingdoms in the Western have, when most of the world, they claim sovereignty over their kingdoms from having some sort of lineage descended from our family, from the Gallic crown. They say it backwards in Leinster House, they say Ceann Ceala, but it's actually Carla Ceann, the Gallic crown, the light to the Gentiles. So there's what happens when you become a Catholic. The Lord doesn't uphold you, and you become a pagan idolater, you get a genocide and all. That's the judgment against the Hebrew Irish for becoming idolaters and repetitive prayer to the Queen of Heaven and stuff like that. So now the children are returning from abroad and afar, and we have 100 trillion in gas and oil off the coast, and they're giving it to the Dan tribe. In the future we go to war with the Dan tribe. It says the men of Benjamin go to war with the tribe of Dan. We win because the tribe of Dan is not mentioned in the book of Revelations. The tribe of Dan is the only one of the 12 tribes that's not mentioned, so they're wiped out. The filth amongst the daughters of Zion, because the Lord says, I will bring the calamity of Esau upon the Dan at the time I will visit him. So the Dan is fucked. They get sorted like the Oliver Cromwell treatment. You see that red English flag? That actually comes from the Rock of Cashel, and the British flag is actually, it's a design that shows the way the 12 tribes are supposed to be ordered, and it's actually our flag. It's actually the Gaelic flag, because they're in Gaelish, and a Gael is a Gaelish, so we're the Gaels. The English are the Gaels, and the French are the Gaels, all the way down as far as Hungary. They've been telling us bollocks, the priests, dividing and conquering us. And that's what they want to do. They want to feed you to their god Moab. They want you to believe the lies, and then you'll end up feeding their god. They'll build more churches, more temples, and then they'll just suck the juice out of you, your vapour. The siege upon the city. The siege upon the city is everyone's supposed to be a defender of the faith, and we're the city. Everyone's a brick in the wall in the city of God. And the siege and the rationing of the food is the word of God. They burnt St. Patrick the dragon, who came from Wales. He's the dragon. He burnt all the books, 180 books, the Mother's Law. That was the start of